Going for boost. Well, I think going for boost, if you're a boost merchant, like someone like AJ or someone, you go for boost.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Always, every second of every game. Ball's going in your net, don't worry about it. Go get the boost and make sure you've got the full 100 to celebrate with the other team.
Oh God. Never. Yeah, never. Always go for ball.
Yeah.
Number one rule of Rocket League.
Welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, where three aggressively average Rocket League players talk about everything RLCS with your hosts, Ace, Code Red Jack, Kyle Cube, and AJ Binky. So, if you've ever wondered when the best time to go for Boost Over Ball is, you've come to the right place.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Kyle K Cube, and I'm joined with AJ Binky and Red. What's up, guys?
What up?
Hello.
So, I figured today's episode was going to be talking about the major, doing a lot of recapping, kind of reiterating a lot of the points that we already made in the episodes that we released on Friday and Saturday, but we've been blessed by the RL gods, and we have a lot to talk about. On today's episode, we'll talk about some of our talking points, recapping our final predictions, and just generally going over the results of the major. We'll be talking about how Blast ran the event, all of the things that they did good, the things that they did bad, our thoughts on the major items in the shop. Before jumping over to some Rocket League news, including roster rumors, some April Fool's stuff, the Voltage mod, U.S. Central servers, all that before jumping into overtime, and then wrapping up for today's episode. So we got an exciting one. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, did anybody have Gentle Mates on their bingo card as winning the major?
I
think at this point, everybody expected this.
That's
Carmine Corp's obviously washed. Vitality hasn't looked good in a long time. They obviously have the world's curse. Who else is going to win it, It's not going to be G2, but NA's washed. So,
yeah,
I feel like everybody expected this. Everybody got their channel point. Nobody actually won any channel points because all channel points were bet on Gentle Mates. So, I don't know. To be expected, I guess.
I mean, they were Championship Sunday chats. That was chat's pick on Championship Sunday.
That's true. Actually, they were.
I still can't believe that the only one that got it right was Chat. The first time in history.
But it was overwhelming. When I did the poll, they were at 62%, which is kind of wild in a four choice list.
Yeah, props to the fan base, I guess.
Yeah. I appreciate the pink suits. It seemed like, the videos that we were seeing, I guess we talked about this first, right? So the crowd, right? Holler Arena, the showmanship, the lighting, the presentation, Stax' intros, everything was on point. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Best RLCS has looked in a while.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
However, and I have, no concrete knowledge on this one, but it looked like there was not that many fans there.
I think part of that was the venue was smaller. And also with it being such a late notice on the fact that it was in Copenhagen, probably didn't help that. Because as we saw from some people, it was, $3,000 a ticket for some people. So
I could have made it for it was $800 for a plane ticket or something.
Yeah, and then that's not including room and board.
Yeah. Then I'm broke right now. So
so I think the next lands, especially the Copper Box, is going to be much better. I mean, Copper Box always has a good showing, so we'll hopefully be able to hear the crowd a little more on stream this time.
Yeah, for sure. So
I think the crowd is pretty good as far as audio is concerned, but
I mean, I feel like when they were doing the predictions, when they were doing the intros, you could hear them, but I feel like during the match, there was nothing.
True. Yeah,
You'd only
that's
really hear them if it was like a EU team playing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I mean, you think about back to the Copper Box games and majors and events, and the crowd is rowdy and loud the whole time. They have chants and cheers for everything, for all the EU boys that they got over there and all that stuff. But looking it up, the Holler Arena seating capacity can be expanded up to 4,950 seats. That's at the biggest, the biggest it could be. The Copper Box has a capacity of 7,500 people, and Dickies Arena has 14,000. With center with seating on the floor for concerts, so it's probably about 10,000 seats without doing that. So Dickies Arena is definitely the biggest, but also, I mean, it is Worlds, so I feel like it should be the biggest.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand they were also the CS major was also in Denmark at the same time, so it just made sense for them to do that. That's fine. Going back to Copper Box is easy. They've done it 2 times before. I think that's a good start, and I think that now that they've announced all of the locations for the rest of the season, I think they can really start to get going and bring in some exciting venues for next season. We teased it a little bit. It'll be another. Before the recording, we talked about it, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. But can you really consider Sam and MENA minor regions anymore? Do they get their own events now? These are things that I'm intrigued to find out about as we move forward.
I'm just gonna say I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for Rocket League to go to a bunch of cool new places. That's not just bouncing back and forth between NA and EU. Even though I love when they're NA because it's easier to go to.
So much easier.
Agree.
But we talked about it for a second in the beginning there before we got sidetracked. But Gentlemates winning the major, they went undefeated. It's not like they had a Mickey run. They went through some tough teams, Carmine Corps and G2 in there included, and really props to them and congratulations are in order for them. They looked fantastic. They were able to beat Carmine Corps, and I saw a couple people on Twitter talking about oh, Gentlemates didn't really deserve to win that one. They're the least exciting team that could have done that. But to be the best, you got to beat the best, and they did that.
I feel like people always say that about the teams that win. They're so boring to watch. I felt that about BDS when they won Worlds. I did not feel that way about Gentlemates when they won this tournament.
I would agree with that. I mean, I feel like BDS was just so clinical, especially in that grand finals. Sorry, Red. That it was boring to watch.
It's okay.
So consistent, so clinical, very repeatable. You knew what you were getting every single time, and it was just almost a machine at that point.
Yep.
But I would agree. So.
Yeah, I thought it was way more exciting watching Gentlemates win this than BDS for Worlds.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw it on Twitter, and I'd be interested to know the listener's opinion. So maybe we'll put a poll out on Twitter or something like that. But in my opinion, I think this is the best LAN event that RLCS has had.
I would agree.
I mean, I feel like from the upsets to the teams that won, it wasn't really super expected. It ended up kind of being G2 versus the world, or I guess versus France. But, we saw Furia and Falcons both make a good run at it. There were teams from all over the world competing on, over the weekend in front of the crowd. And, the level of Rocket League was so high. We saw so many Game 7s, a couple of Game 7 overtimes. There were no sweeps in playoffs, which was awesome to see.
Absolutely. By far one of the most entertaining ones to watch.
Yeah. But now we have to start to give out some props and give people, their flowers. So, let's start out with Blast. Visually, the event looked fantastic. Everything I had heard coming into the event was, Blast does a fantastic job with in-person events. Like that's really why you bring them on to run your esport, is because of the events that they put on, and I think that they did tremendously well. Some of the things that they added in, I thought, like the desk that the casters and the analysts were using in between sets with the screen on the front looked nice. I thought the addition of the coin was fantastic. I thought keeping track of points for the caster predictions as well as chat and the coin made for an interesting dynamic throughout the weekend, as Bates was trying to beat out chat, and showing that maybe Bates doesn't know ball as well as chat knows ball. But
Which, at the end of the day, I think chat beat him because they got the points for choosing the champion, right?
yeah, they did get those points right.
I think chat might have surpassed Bates, which if that's the case, that's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they did a lot of really simple things that added a lot to the stream.
Yeah, agreed. And like, even though it wasn't like my favorite, and they usually do them like at LAN events in person, like showing those videos of like the caster showdown or things like that, I think that they've like really started to play into like the personalities of the people on the desk and the casters, and I think that's a great idea. Even though it was a little bit cringe and a little bit like weird at times, I think that was a good touch for them, and I think that it really kind of, I guess, like humanizes the talent a little bit more, which I think makes it more like easy for people to relate to them.
Yeah.
But Lethamir also tweeted that the Blast employees had already remembered and knew the talent's name. Like people came in who had like the VIP access, big people in the scene, like already knew who they were, already were knowledgeable about Rocket League. And he said it's hard to compete with Psionic's knowledge of Rocket League because it's their game. He goes, but they did their homework, they knew what they're talking about, and he was very pleased with the way that they were handled and treated throughout the weekend. So a huge shout out to Blast for doing what they did and being able to put on the show that they did with such little time after the announcement. So congratulations to them. Also, in my opinion, one of my favorite casters of the weekend was Hercules. It was announced that she was signed on for the rest of the season as a caster for RLCS. So congratulations to her. She definitely deserved it. I really enjoyed her broadcast. I don't know about you guys.
It was fantastic. I mean, really good. Big props to her. She did fantastic on the desk.
Yeah, I thought that her banter on the desk was good as well. I think Lemon Kiwi did a great job. I think that their perspective and the way that they look at the game brings a different kind of dimension to the casting and to the analytics aspect, like the analyst side of the desk. And I think that is very welcome. So, it kind of like, it still hurts a little bit for me that like Subi and Jorby and some of the other casters that we know and love didn't get to come back, but it's equally as exciting to see up and coming casters, people that have been around the scene for a little bit, really getting their chance and really getting their flowers, so to speak. I mean, Hercules tweeted, thank you for all the chants and the cheers when she came onto the floor and stuff like that. So like the crowd recognizes it as well. So it's really cool to see that she's getting the props that I thought she deserves. I mean, the first time I heard her casting was at Worlds in Dallas when she was commentating the freestyle tournament, and I thought she did a great job and showed tremendous understanding of the game then. So she's come a long way since then, and I can't give her enough credit on that one.
I have a question.
What's that?
Who is the lowest ranked caster?
Oh,
Like
I mean,
I
don't know if you could. Yeah,
like
that's probably personal preference at that point because I don't know if you can rank casters to that degree.
No. Lowest in-game rank.
Oh, lowest in-game
Oh.
rank? Oh,
Yep.
God. I don't keep track of caster ranks.
I don't either.
If
But
I
always think it's fascinating.
if I
'Cause,
had to
like,
guess,
in League of Legends, LS he's like a gold. He's not good at the game, but he's a coach for one of the best teams. And like he understands the game so well, but just can't perform. Like he doesn't have the mechanics for it. And like there's it like it's obviously the same thing in Rocket League where like you don't have to be able to perform at the best possible level to be able to understand the game at that level. You know? I always think that's so fascinating.
Absolutely.
Uh,
It goes with a lot of sports too. Is you don't have to have
Yeah,
been
exactly.
pro to be a coach or be a caster. As long as you just have a good understanding of the game, that's all you really need.
Yeah. I always find that super interesting.
I'm
I
not
just wanted to
I
put that in there.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything about like casters ranks either.
Gotcha.
if I had to guess, though, I have to say Lemon Kiwi.
Do you know what rank is?
Probably.
No, I don't. But like
Okay, gotcha.
she commentates for so many games. I just feel like there's
Mhm.
no like if she's better than me, I'm just gonna feel even worse about myself.
Because she shouldn't have enough time to actually play the game to be good enough.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
she casts for Rocket League, Valorant, Teamfight Tactics,
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
and she used to cast for Overwatch. And she's a Twitch partner. She streams. Like I just feel like there's no way she should be able to be that good at the game. But also at the
Yeah,
same
that would
time,
make
she
sense,
could just be
technically.
naturally good at games. So who knows?
That's so frustrating when people are like that. I know we talked about this in Detroit, but it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I be one of those people?
Yeah, it'd be cool to just be good.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice?
I mean, yeah, it would be. But that's a good question. That is a really good really good question. But so also some more, some news that we have coming out here. We talked about it already a little bit briefly, but Landon is going to return for the third time. Major number 2 is headed to London. And Worlds is headed back to Dallas at Dickies Arena for 3 crowd days, which is a little bit exciting. It originally came out that it was going to be 2, and everyone kind of freaked out a little bit. So hopefully, people have kind of figured it out, and that it is going to be 3 days, and it is going to be, a great time. So I know me, Red, AJ, and a lot of other guys that we play with are already talking about Airbnbs and flights and all that stuff. So a lot of people are really excited to have an NA Worlds, especially back at Dickies Arena, which was so good the last time.
How many days was last time in Dallas?
I want to say it was 3 as well.
No, it was for sure more than that.
What?
Like you could go
was
during the wild card or the group.
I-
stage or
Oh,
whatever.
I guess yeah.
Oh no,
so
you
that-
you couldn't go during the wild card, but you could go for the group stage.
Yeah, but
and
you had
group
to
stage
get
was
like
like
a
a week
special
long.
ticket or something, right? Yeah, it was like you. Oh, they
Yeah,
only like
it
allowed a
wasn't
certain
much
amount of people.
more. But
It was 3
yeah.
crowd days for main event, 2 extra days for group stage if you bought the group
Was it only
stage
2?
ticket. I thought it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
pretty
they
sure.
only let in it was a super small crowd. It was like a crowd of like 100 or 200 or something like that.
Yeah, for the people that
But it was
came
still
in for
really
it.
cool.
Yeah, it's a clever idea. I think that they should continue to do that if possible, especially at Dickies because they have the facilities for it because they've done it before.
Yeah, it's possible.
Exactly. But the last thing, and it little peek behind the curtain. It happened on the last time we recorded for our episode that was supposed to go live the Wednesday before the event, but I had mic issues, so I had to re-record it. But we talked about it there, but I figure we should talk about it again. What are your guys' thoughts on the major items, like the Copenhagen major items in the shop?
They're decent. I've gotten at least the decals, the Authentic and Octane decals. They look pretty clean. Definitely align with what people want out of like decal, like item shop decals and packages like that. I'm not sure how worth the bundle is per se, but definitely I've spent money on it, so it definitely worked.
So how much of this didn't make the cut?
All of it.
Because we had a pretty good conversation about it.
All of it.
Okay, so I think it's a fantastic idea. Decals look fine. The items look fine. But I want to say it's Dota has their prize pool for majors and tournaments like crowdfunded by
Yep.
selling items.
You are correct.
And I think if Rocket League does that, it would be amazing.
Absolutely agree.
I mean, I feel like with how much of a cult following Rocket League has, because like if you're in Rocket League, you're in Rocket League. Like there's no two ways about it. Like if you're in it, you're like drowning in it. And
Yep.
like the people who are so passionate about the esport, passionate about the scene, and passionate about Rocket League succeeding, would spend more money in game if part of the money went to the prize pool. I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Similarly,
Go ahead.
similarly to when they released the esports decals, and they announced that a portion of the proceeds would go back to the organizations. The
exactly.
G2 fanboys, the FaZe people, your Dignitas stands. Everyone kind of went and bought their all their team's decal stuff so that they would help
Don't
support
forget
them.
about the Ground Zero fanboys.
You're right. How could I ever forget?
Exactly. And the version 1, that decal was everywhere.
It was haunted my nightmares for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Haunted a lot of people's nightmares, I'm sure.
But
Those calm wannabes.
yeah. But you mentioned the Dota, and this year's the international, which is the Dota like championships, the prize pool was the second lowest it's ever been at 2.2 million just for one event.
The second lowest, only
Yep.
$2.2 million.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I brought this up last time, and I think the way that it should be done is not 100% crowdfunded prize pool. I think it should be like Psyonix or whoever puts in some amount of money as like a base, and then everything after that is crowdfunded by sales in game.
I would agree. And I think that like you could do it like so, the major gets announced, right? And it's a little bit different because they announced two at once here, but I think like from a timing perspective that's kind of how they have to do it. But, let's just say like major 1 just ended. They announced major 2. Once the second, the weekend after the first major ends, you put the new items in the shop and you say, okay, anybody who buys these items, whatever 40% of the money that you spend on credits from now until, the week before major 2, that money goes towards the prize pool. And then you do that again for Worlds, and then you do that again for major 1, and you just kind of keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they have to sell the items at the same, like, overlapping time. Like, I don't think it would have any effect. Like, if they did it where they announced 2 at the same time, I don't think it would affect how many sales they would get on it. I mean, maybe, I guess people would just wait for the bigger tournament, but I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd buy them both.
I mean, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying, though. But, like, you want to be able to support, like, each major, right? It's like you want, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, selfishly, too, if you're an NA fan and you're going to Worlds and you're like, you know what, I really want to see the prize pool be big for Worlds, so I'm going to buy all my items then. By all means, do that, right? Like, I mean, you can kind of make it something similar to, like, the support a creator or something like that. But, like, I mean, I'm not asking for 100% of their proceeds to go to, the prize pool, but just some of them. I think that'd be a great start.
I think you brought this up last time, too. I'm not 100% sure, but I know League of Legends does, like, world champion skins in-game.
Yes, they do.
And, yeah, so, and I always bought those. Those were fantastic. I loved them. And I would absolutely buy, like, a world champion decal for Rocket League. That'd be so cool.
That would be really cool. That's another great idea.
If it was something similar to their esports decal, but had like a little like gold flair to it or something, or something similar, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of cool stuff they could do like that, and it seems like we're headed in that direction.
Well, I mean, with as much as they preach about like sustainability and like wanting esports to be like, more self-sustaining, like this seems like definitely the path, right? Like you've taken away, it's a free game, so it's very accessible. If people want to get in and start watching your esport, they should be able to support it if they want to by buying in-game items.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Just makes it more accessible to everyone, in my personal opinion. But now that we've kind of rehashed that, sorry about that because of the technical difficulties on my end. Does anybody have anything else they want to add about the major, about Blast, about these upcoming events, anything like that before we jump into roster rumors?
Nope.
Nothing here.
Okay. So now we'll jump into roster rumors. And first and foremost, we have Stizzy to Dignitas, not confirmed yet, but that's seeming more likely by the day. Aqua to NRG, again, seeming like that's what's going to happen unless NRG want to make another change, which they've done in the past, so I wouldn't put it past them. But we also have Cash and Ivan of Redemption potentially headed to Grind Serve Resolve. I'm not sure who they would be dropping in this scenario, but that's a good one to keep an eye on. We have LCT leaving Elevate. It was announced that they mutually, like, Elevate and LCT both announced it. LCT is not retiring. He's still looking to compete, so we'll have to look to see who picks him up. And then now we get to kind of, in my opinion, the most exciting rumor or news that we've heard so far, and that is that a Chronic is joining Luna Galaxy, and potentially Atomic and Tox of Magnifico are set to join him. So that would leave Magnifico with no players on it because the third Stizzy is headed to Dignitas. So maybe that move kind of spurred the rest of these players to kind of find something else. But that's certainly an interesting rumor.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the just outside the top teams making all these rostered moves. Obviously, we got Stizzy going to be doing another cross the pond move for North America. So, looking forward to see how he competes in NA. Glad to see a Chronic coming back into the scene after his one major hiatus. Glad to see him get back into the swing of things. Looking forward to seeing what he can do on the pitch. Biggest thing, hopefully Energy figures out what's going on over there, because I have very little faith in them right now.
At what point does their stock bottom out?
When Garrett G-leaves. That's when Energy hits rock bottom.
Fair. But that's all we got so far, I'm sure. And it's only April 2nd as we're recording this, so I'm sure there will be plenty of roster rumors, roster news that are going to come out, and then over the next couple of weeks while this roster transfer window is open. So we will continue to keep you guys up to date with what is going on there. But we got a lot of news to cover now. So first and foremost, it was April Fool's Day yesterday. Rocket League brought back the 3-wheeled mode, the third wheel test mode. In casual for a limited time. It's only available in game for a couple more days. That's always fun. We can always usually look forward to them doing something funny like that on April Fool's Day. So cool to see that. But now into something that I've done a little bit of research on. Got some insight from Dr. John's Decals, who has made the Boost Overball decals on this one. But have either of you guys heard of Voltage Mod?
This is the first time I've heard of it, and it's super interesting.
Okay, so I got to do a little bit of background here because it is kind of a niche thing and not a lot of people have heard about it. I certainly hadn't heard about it until I started doing my research. But Voltage Mod is a Rocket League mod and plugin for Bacchus Mod that allows you to acquire any game or any item in the game, have it visible in your inventory, and allow others to see it, making it essentially a non-client side version of Alpha Console.
So it just gives you items.
Basically, yes.
Does it turn other items in? Wait, no. Okay. So from what I can see, you can use it to give other people items as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an issue.
So
There's some issues there, I'm sure.
There is
Yeah.
there is some drama with this. So someone using Voltage mod in its current state after all of the patchwork and, everything that Psyonix and Epic have done to continue to update the game. And in the Voltage mod Discord, he was offering to give people whatever items they wanted for $500. So, like, if you're getting Alpha Boost and you're getting Alpha Wheels and all that stuff, like, that's worth way more than $500, first and foremost. But this is
get banned.
This is a big deal because, according to him, it hasn't been patched yet. But it's still a little bit sketchy, right? Like, anytime you're using a mod and someone is guaranteeing you to give you, like, crazy items, if something is too good to be true, it usually is. Secondly,
It's more than a little bit sketchy.
this violates Psyonix and Epic Games' terms of service, and it is a bannable offense. And we're not talking like a timeout or like a couple-day ban. This is a lifetime VAC ban. Like this,
It wouldn't be a VAC ban, but
Yeah, it
Sorry.
would be
Point
back,
taken.
but it would be a in-game ban for
yeah, it'd
already.
be
Yeah.
3 Psyonix.
yeah.
But same idea, like permaban.
But I've gotten a couple of screenshots from the Discord. DM me if you want to buy server side items and titles. They show for everyone, even in game, for $500. If you get banned using it, no refund. You can only get banned if using titles and someone in game reports you. This does not apply to anyone who bought, and then he talks about some other stuff. And he said, by the way, this shit is not patched because they don't know how I'm doing it. So anyone who wants to buy it, it's still up and working.
Yeah, that just sounds like a scam in the making.
It does, but
So I found a source code from 2 days ago. It looks like it was updated. I haven't looked through any of it yet.
I don't know that I would fuck with that.
I would agree.
Right. But I'm gonna be looking through it.
I mean, for sure.
Fair. But I mean, that's what we do here, is try to bring everybody all the news and everything that's going on in and around Rocket League. So I thought it was important to bring up. So basically, the big warning that I'm going to give, if somebody's offering to give you items in game after they've removed trading, you probably shouldn't do it. You could get banned.
Yeah. If anybody does this, they're an idiot.
Also,
Don't
if
do this.
probably the same person that keeps clicking Discord links.
Yeah, please don't click Discord links either or Steam links.
Overtime, right?
No,
Yeah,
we got
that's about it, I think.
one more thing. We got to talk about one more thing.
The big thing for me.
The big thing for a lot of Rocket League fans, it's
Oh, heck yeah.
people have been talking about it. People have been asking about it for 4 or 5 years now.
Since the game came out.
Since the game came out, yep. U.S. Central servers are live.
Thank God. So, like, everybody on the West Coast is going to be now using Central, right?
Pretty.
I don't think so. I think they'll use West servers.
I mean, they'll still
You
use
think so?
West, yeah, but
I thought West was just garbage even for West players.
I don't know. I haven't played on West enough to really know.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm also not West Coast, so.
So I heard that there's 2 servers in Illinois and there's 2 servers in Texas. So
Oh, bummer.
you have a 50-50 shot on where you're going to get for Central servers. But like this has a trickle down effect, right? So it's like all the people that are on Central servers are not going to play on Central servers. All the people who are currently playing on, West or East servers are not going to play on those anymore. So like the player base in each region should get a bump because there's less players playing on their servers.
Oh,
Which-
so I saw this earlier. Speaking of like where servers are located, so this was an account, Rocket Planet. They queued 20 U.S. Central matches. They got 10 in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, 5 in Dallas, Texas, 3 in Mountain View, California. So that one's a little odd.
That's awesome.
And 2 in St. Louis, Missouri.
That's fantastic.
Okay. So I
With
mean,
a good, the rough ratio is about consistent, and a good 50% of matches are always in Illinois. Appears.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's
Why
awesome
is-
for
why
Central
is-
players.
I'm just curious why Mountain View, California is a part of
Yeah.
that. Because
Let's
that's
see,
like as
I'm
far
pulling it up
west
on a
as you
map.
can get.
Is it really?
Yeah,
View?
it's
And it could just like, who knows?
I mean, I would imagine that like maybe at some point in the queuing process, and like I'd be interested to find out like what rank he's queuing. But like if you can't find a game in Central, like does it like it broadens the search?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But like, if it's still like that's a West server.
yeah. I would imagine it's probably like he just waited
yeah,
so
that's
long
like-
that it pulled in another region.
That's like the Bay Area. So
Yeah. But I mean, like that's like not
anyway,
that's
it's a
not
win.
like he could have queued that before Central servers were a thing. That's like he would have queued there. Like that would have been a server that he queued.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I mean, I see this as a huge win.
I mean, there like it's just objectively a huge win.
Like
Absolutely.
I feel like we're on the right timeline now. Like they've announced 2 majors. They announced 2 majors in a week, or 2 LAN venues in a week. Central servers are a thing. Like there's a lot of positivity in the Rocket League community right now. Like things are seemingly like starting to pick up some steam. So I'm hopeful for the future. Knock
It's
on
kind
wood.
of weird. It's kind of unsettling.
Like
Yeah, it's that feeling of things are going too right. There's got to be a catch to this.
Yeah, we're due for bad news.
so like that cynical nature and outlook, is that like, just based on prior hurt, like we've been hurt before, so we'll be hurt again kind of thing?
The trauma, yeah.
Yes.
But like I mean,
Yes.
thinking about it like in a more positive light though, but like now that Psyonix doesn't have to run their own events, like now that Blast is going to take over, does that potentially free up some of their bandwidth to like address things in game, like Central servers, like other items that people have been complaining about? I mean, I feel like that's got to be one of the reasons that this is getting taken care of now. Like, it doesn't seem like a coincidence to me.
Yes, but I'm still keeping my hopes low. I've been hurt too many times.
That's fair. That's fair. But anybody have anything else to add on any of this Rocket League news before we jump into overtime?
Things are
here.
looking good.
They are indeed. But now we're gonna jump into overtime, where we answer questions that you guys asked to us on Twitter or on our Discord. The first one coming from @Raspberries on Twitter. How will this impact Sad Jr.'s legacy, and when will he be on the podcast?
Man, that's a name I haven't heard in a hot minute.
So, for people who aren't aware, Sad Jr. is currently the Space Station gaming coach, and I would guess that how will this impact? I would imagine he means not making the major, and his coaching legacy is what I would guess.
There's one way to see it, I guess. I'm not sure. It's Raz, so it could be anything.
Indeed.
I mean, I think his legacy will be just fine. I think they'll.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't see it impacting
Yeah.
him much at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I would still love to see him at a major. I think SSG potentially has the capability to do that, but I'd love to see him back on the main stage.
Agreed.
Yeah, that'd be
Now,
awesome.
for when will he be on the podcast? That's a Sad Junior question.
That's a K Cube question too.
That's a K Cube and Sad Junior question.
I mean, I'll DM him.
He's the guy.
My only question is, if we get him on, does Raz have to come on the podcast too?
I
Oh, yeah,
feel like
totally.
he has to if he's the one that's asking the question.
Like, have you
Yeah.
guys seen Community?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, there's a scene where Donald Glover, like he loves like the Reading Rainbow song, and as a present he gets the guy who sang the jingle, and he like is freaking out because he doesn't want to like meet his hero or anything like that. He like doesn't
Oh,
say
that's so
anything for like
cool.
2 days. I feel like that'd be Raz. He'd just be sitting there like
Yeah, for sure.
not knowing what to say.
Yeah, just dead silent. Totally.
But
I can't see Raz being dead silent in any situation, though.
me
If
neither.
we're being honest.
Me neither.
Yeah,
But
that'd be cool though. We should definitely give that a shot.
yeah, I'll see what I can do. They got some off time.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
But now a question that I think is a good one. It's been asked before, but it's April Fool's. It was April Fool's Day again. So, what is your favorite April Fool's Rocket League gag that they've done?
I still got to go with the rank
I know
logo
mine.
change.
Okay.
I still got it.
That's easy number 2 for me.
Okay.
That's my number 1. The veggies. Can't go wrong with the veggies.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Rickroll quick chats.
That was a good one.
It was
that
so
one
fun.
that one also included the Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley in the item shop as a purchasable player anthem, and that is a very, very good one. I kind of like the when they changed the game mode pictures to like the We Dem Girls style art.
Yeah, I did too, but it didn't feel like much.
That's
like,
true.
With the Rickroll quick chats, like everybody was quick chatting. Everybody was like just chatting. It felt Rocket League felt wholesome again.
Yeah, it was like really like inclusive for everybody.
It really was. It was fantastic. It was such a good time.
Yeah, but for the other ones that we did not name is when all the toppers were really big, like huge, like the foam hat was like bigger than the car, and also the third wheel test. So the octanes with only 3 wheels. Those have been like the big April Fool's gags, and so they redid the third wheel test this year, but hopefully next year we can hope for something a little bit more drastic.
Yeah.
But
give me Rickroll chats back.
Bring them back
permanently.
I would love. Here's an idea. I just thought of this. Turn the cars upside down. Just like flip the model.
Oh, whoa!
That would annihilate everybody's brain.
So would you get a flip reset then with like on the top of your car? Then?
It's still. You just keep like the hitboxes the same and like the mechanics the same, but just flip the model. So the top of the car would be where you get flip resets. That's where you drive in.
That would be so painful.
Oh my god!
That'd be cool for like a specific mode.
Well, they did that. That's what they did for the third wheel test, right? So it's like the specialized
like casual
mode
or something, or a specific mode.
Yeah, that'd be so painful though.
Or just do it in the main menu.
Yeah. Or just like in a free play, just sitting there driving around with the car upside down.
That's a really good one, but that would break my brain.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but if you guys don't have anything else, I think it's time to wrap up for this episode.
Got nothing else here?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll wrap up this episode of the Boost Over Ball podcast. We'd like to thank you so much for listening. Please remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, join our Discord, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, as those 5 stars really help us out. Also, check out our Twitch, our TikTok, and our merch store. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. And from us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, www.boostoverball.com, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.